You make me do all the science fair project. I'll throw you under the metaphorical bus. So this is a bit of a read. Perdoname. Also, I tried posting this on ProRevenge, but it didn't work, so please tell me if what I did was petty or ProRevenge here. Cast. Pathological liar sheep boy amazing teacher me is starting to save. So this story happened when I was in 7th grade. During that time the school district had all students participate in a mandatory annual science fair. From elementary school up to the end of middle school. The idea was to get students interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math fields and occupations. After participating in science fairs for 6 years, I was used to the usual rigmarole that a science fair project entailed. I come up with some, hopefully unique, project ideas. Most likely the very original electricity from a potato project. I make a hypothesis, collect data, pay the school or Home Depot $10 to $20 for a science fair board. Tape up charts and diagrams to the board the night before presenting. And then rinse and repeat for the next year. However, this year my class was doing things a little differently. My class had the honor of being the first to be selected to participate in a virtual science fair. So basically we were voluntold. No one in our section of the district at that time did a virtual science fair before. So we were signed up as guinea pigs to test it out. If that wasn't good enough, my class also had to promote healthy collaboration amongst students. So we were assigned to do projects in a group. Now I hate group work. I always got the short end of the stick in a group. Either my group gets stuck with someone that skimps out on work and the other group members and I have to cover their portion, or everyone in the group except me avoids work like the plague, and no matter how much I urge them to participate, I eventually have to do all the work myself to maintain my precious grades. I was a straight A student at the time, so any group work assigned to me was a threat to my grade and my sanity. If I ever got less than an A on any assignment, my mother would ask me, "Why didn't you get an A? Sonny boy, do you need help at school?" It drove me insane since I wasn't failing. Anyways, the online science fair was pretty simple. As a group, we were assigned access to a group science fair board that we could fill out with our results, figures, hypothesis, etc. We were to have certain parts of the project, like the discussion, done by particular dates to get points towards our grade. The overall project was due in 2 months, and then we were to give a presentation. Amazing teacher was brilliant. She wanted us to record our project progress in a composition book in tandem with the online portion, which she would review during our presentation in 2 months. I believe this was to help us keep track of notes in case we forgot to log them into the computer later. But it was used by me as a tool in my revenge. I was paired with pathological liar and sheep boy, who I was kinda friends with. We brainstormed and settled on testing the performance of an individual in exercise before and after they drink an energy drink. This was in part influenced by Monster Energy drink just becoming popular and sheep boy parents getting a new home gym. I thought it was great since I was playing football at the time and wanted to work out more. Also, pathological liar, sheep boy, and I literally shared every class together and lived within a mile of each other, so it would be super easy to communicate. However, sheep boy and pathological liar never seemed to want to talk about the project. After 2 weeks of radio silence from pathological liar and sheep boy, I finally corralled them in one place and suggested we meet up at sheep boy's house that weekend to start the project. On the day of the meetup, Sheep Boy's mom had to go grocery shopping or something, so Sheep Boy was out. Undaunted, I told Pathological Liar it'd be fine if we work at my house and researched other studies on it to get the ball rolling. But Pathological Liar never showed up that day. So I decided to confront him on our walk home from school the next day. Oh my God, if you heard what came out of this boy's mouth as an excuse. While we were literally within spitting distance of my house, Pathological Liar said he couldn't come over yesterday or today because his grandparents had gotten into a plane crash. I was flabbergasted and exclaimed, "What? Really?" But I didn't see anything on the news about a plane crash. Pathological Liar responded indignantly, "Plane crashes happen all the time, starting to save. They're not all going to get reported on. Their plane struck another plane on the tarmac and then rolled over and snapped off both wings." Quote, "Me. Insert surprised Pikachu face. OMG, I'm so sorry. Did they die?" Quote, "Place. What? No, why would they die? Idiot. Anyways, I can't do the project this week. See ya." This little turd then ran home. After I got home and deduced that he just fed me a sack of crap, I just said whatever and filed out the preliminary sections of the project and wrote notes in the composition book to at least ensure we had something to turn in next week. I was willing to give the group a second chance, 'cause maybe their busy middle school lives were swamped. After another 2 weeks of attempting to coordinate my group and getting them to at least contribute a page or two to the report, we finally decided to meet up at Sheep Boy House again to start collecting the data. We actually all showed up this time, and Sheep Boy's mom had bought the Monster energy drinks we needed. Pathological Liar started to guzzle them because he wanted to test out the drinks first. Sheep Boy showed off his new home gym and then got us to play Smash Bros for half an hour. I didn't want to play at first, but then decided to lighten up and we could do the tests afterward. After coaxing my group back to the gym, Pathological Liar just rambled and chit-chatted. Me, trying to be pragmatic, said, "Hey guys, why don't we start our exercise now and record some data? And then afterward I can school y'all in Smash Bros." Quote, Sheep Boy looked willing until Pathological Liar sighed out, "Oh my God, starting to save, SIGHHHHHH. We didn't invite you out to do this stupid project, we invited you to hang out." Sheep Boy's attitude did a complete 180, chiming in, "Yeah, we don't want to do the stupid project now." Quote, I was seething. Pathological Liar spouted a load of bull. This wasn't even his house. I was the one who organized this get-together to collect freakin' science fair data. I was the one herding these sheeple around. OMG. The second chance I gave them was taken and then stomped all over the ground, and they weren't getting a third one. I relented and said, "Okay, then let's just hang out then." When I got home that night, I was angry, and I used that anger to fuel my revenge. I conscripted my parents to the science fair project, and they helped me collect the data I needed by volunteering to work out and drink energy drinks. The data collection problem was solved. Once I got enough data, I wrote down everything for the science fair project in the composition book. I even uploaded everything to the online science fair board. I created all the PowerPoint slides and scripts for the presentation. Over the next few weeks leading up to the presentation, Sheep Boy and Pathological Liar didn't even ask about the science fair project. They had no intention of doing any of the work. Although my anger fueled me to get the project done, I wasn't finished. I did the pettiest thing I could think of and signed a corner of the composition book with "Starting to save" did all the work. I knew that amazing teacher would be checking our composition books while we were presenting the project, and I couldn't wait to see how Pathological Liar would try to weasel out of this one. On the day of the presentation, Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy were nervously fidgeting at their desks because they didn't have anything prepared. I strolled in and told them to relax since I made a PowerPoint. They relaxed, not knowing how stupid they were going to look while presenting. Oh, how dumb they looked when we started presenting to the whole class. I had already memorized the slides and my script, and was effortlessly strolling around the room, making eye contact, and delivering a killer speech on the science fair project. Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy just read off the slides with deadpan expressions with their hands in their pants, not moving an inch. I was relishing this, all the while gleefully peeking to the back of the classroom where Amazing Teacher was reading through our composition book. Amazing Teacher would stop our presentation every once in a while to ask questions and compare with what was written down in the book. But once the bomb dropped, my blood ran cool with maniacal glee. I saw it stop and read a corner of the book. She then read it out loud. Starting to Save did all the work. Quote, I felt Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy grow cold next to me. Place. That cunning fox stammered out, well, yeah, he worked on that section. Miss Amazing Teacher brought her glasses down to the tip of her nose and stared at Pathological Liar over the rims and coolly stated, so you're telling me that Starting to Save was just signing his part of the composition book and that you all wrote in here equally? Quote, Pathological Liar. Yes, ma'am. Me. Shrugs. At this point I wavered. I didn't want to feel the social wrath from them or their friends for stepping out and challenging Pathological Liar's lie, so I stayed silent. At least I embarrassed them for a moment. After my crowning achievement of embarrassing Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy, I thought nothing would really come from it. But boy was I wrong. After grades were released for the project, I was totally bummed out that I got a 96%. It wasn't the perfect A that I was hoping for, and knew my mother would be asking me, why didn't you get an A+? Why didn't you get a 100%? Quote, but then Sheep Boy and Pathological Liar ran up to me with their eyes wide with terror asking, what did you get for your grade? Me. I got a grade. Why? Quote, this is how my snarky butt avoided answering questions on my grade. Pathological Liar. Sheep Boy got a 66% and I got a 48%. I was shocked to hear that. And then I figured out that Amazing Teacher must have interrogated my group mates on the project separately and awarded them the grades they deserve. OMG. My petty revenge tanked their grades. The science fair project was alone 25% of our total grades that year. I was so grateful that Amazing Teacher saw my frustration and punished them. Also, our school revenge could use some new stories. DEFINETELY ProRevenge. Not petty. That hurt their grades very badly. They got what they deserve. You get karma on Reddit. And a good grade. I am wondering what your mom's obsession with perfect 100s was about. Amazing story. I actually relate. Being a straight A, antisocial student, I often am expected to do most of the work in group projects because I can do it. I just never really acted on it. Why did you abbreviate Sheep Boy as SP without any warning? Would have made more sense to use SB.
Try/r/shitty group members.
I'm confused. In most Western education systems, England, Western Europe, Australia, NZ, 95% is an A+ and 100% is a mark designed to be practically unattainable. since if it's too easy to get it makes grade scaling harder. Is this America? And are 100s routinely attainable for the top students?
Great story op.
This is easily one of the best and most well-written ProRevenge I have seen on this sub. Little tip for little shits who skip out on group projects. 1. Don't. Just don't. It's a dick move. 2. Look at the PowerPoint before you have to present it. 3. Learn how to bullshit a speech from a PowerPoint that you have never seen before. Seriously. This isn't just for people that like to skip out on group projects. I did this all the time throughout high school. My graduation exam in English was an entirely improvised speech. You can hand me literally any PowerPoint presentation that is informative enough on its own and I will be able to hold an okay enough presentation assuming no one asks questions and/or I know something about the topic it's about. Also that way when your teacher decides to be forgetful and doesn't tell you to prepare a speech to present your finals project, you're still fine because you know how to talk about it for 15 minutes without letting anyone in. The audience know that it actually doesn't work and will fall apart if you look at it from the wrong angle because the construction is just so shitty and nobody of the 4 people working on this communicated with anyone else working on it, so you have a few systems that work by themselves and you may even have a bunch of math in case anyone asks why you chose this specific force translation. But you don't have a functional system because 1. A 3 mm thick piece of plastic is not even close to enough to support the weight of an adult human person. 2. Nobody ever bothered to figure out a way of attaching the ropes. So you just said, fuck it, and duct taped the whole thing together like the madman that you are. And 3. You should have just built the whole thing out of duct tape to begin with because it would work about as well. Take a fraction of the time to make and be much better at not being a safety hazard to the people using it and the people around it. TLDR? Not trying to read 30 pages of some kid complaining about something we've all experienced. Thanks. I think this is a petty revenge since all you did was write, you did all the work. And you didn't own up to it when questioned. A real ProRevenge would have resulted in them getting 0. Enjoyable read though. Dude. Did we assign the same group mates? I swear. All of my group projects turned out the way yours did. With either some of us carrying 1 or 2 others. Or with me carting the whole load. I mean, for a middle schooler this is pretty pro. My wimpy middle school ass would have sucked it up and did nothing. Why would each of them not have gotten the same grade? She then read it out loud. Starting to save did all the work. Quote, I felt pathological liar and SP grow cold next to me. Place. That cunning fox. Stammered out, well, yeah, he worked on that section. Miss. As if a teacher can't identify different handwriting styles. This is more of a karma story than a revenge one though. I would have announced at the beginning of the presentation that pathological liar understandably hadn't been able to contribute equally to the project because his grandparents had been in a plane crash so serious that the wings had snapped off. Good revenge. Don't use acronyms for names next time. Petty at most, I mean. You just scribbled something on a note and expected the teacher to do something. And, in the end, your peers did no work but were still graded. I'm not even sure it could be revenge.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.